How do you teach your child to write? The most common method is to give a pencil to the child and ask them to write the alphabet. Or some would start with standing line, sleeping line, and so on. Both of these things are wrong. The first step is mindless scribbling. The child learns to hold a pencil only by scribbling. If your child does not want to scribble, change the pencil. Like stop using pencil and give the marker. This is a brush pen. You can give this also. Or you can go for color pencils, crayons, glitter pens, and so on. Each child holds the pencil in a different manner. The scribbling helps them to identify the right finger placement that suits them. The scribbling should be mindless. Just give the pencil, give a paper, and your job is done. Do not intervene them on how to scribble or where to scribble. The next step is scribbling within a boundary. Draw a simple shape and ask them to scribble inside it. Obviously, the child is going to scribble outside the boundary, it will be nowhere near the boundary. Over time, the child would get the control of the pencil and learns to stop at the boundary. This method is to teach a child to stop the pencil where the child wants to. Once your child is able to understand the concept, start reducing the size of the boundary. Start with a big square and then reduce it into smaller squares. And once your child is able to at least cover 70% of the shape with scribbling, go to the next level. Next level is you draw a picture and give them just 2 color pencils and ask them to color it. If your child has any obsession towards any particular color, always make sure to give them that color in the painting. The next step is tracing or joining. Keep 2 points, point 1 and point 2. The child has to connect this point A to the point B. Ideally, the child has to draw a straight line from one point to the other. But every child is going to create all sorts of curves before reaching the point. It could be a simple curved line, or the child could go to that extreme of the paper, turn, curve, and then come back to the point. In this step, they learn how to curve the pencil, how to push the pencil towards the desired direction. You can go on by increasing the number of points or give them dot connecting activities. Now that your child knows how the pencils can make curves, how to stop them, and how to pull the pencil towards the desired direction, now you can start with standing line, sleeping line, and so on. The best way to teach them these patterns is that you should draw with a pencil and they should draw on the pencil with a sketch pen. During these pre-writing activities, the pencil should always mostly be in your hand, and they should have the colorful elements, like colorful things like crayons, brush pens, or glitter pens, and so on. So that finally when you give the pencil to them, the child will feel that they are getting upgraded to something that an adult uses. What worked for my daughter was using a dark colored paper and writing with a white pen. It doesn't matter what sheet or what type of writing material a child uses. All that matters is finger grip, finger positioning, and control of the pencil. Most importantly, the willingness to write. So each day it should be different. From here you can start teaching standing line, sleeping line, curve, circle, and so on. And then you can go on to alphabets, smaller case, capital case, numbers, and everything. And from there, do not jump into writing words. Once your child learns to write the alphabet, go to drawing. Always start with simple pictures that can be drawn using the alphabet. Like say O can be drawn into sun, a cloud, X can be made into a fish, and so on. As usual, you draw with a pencil and a child has to trace on your drawing with the sketch pen, and then the child has to copy the picture on the side on his own. Under each drawing, start writing the name of the picture, like sun, S-U-N, sun, cloud, C-L-O-U-D, cloud. The child will also imitate the same thing, and by this way the child understands the concept of words. Now you can go on to start teaching words. Once your child is able to write the words, now it is time for copying. write 4 or 5 words in a line, draw 2 more lines. The child has to copy the word twice. To cat, write the same cat in the straight line. Cat should come here and then here. The next step is give them 2 sheets of paper. In one sheet you would have written it, that is the reference sheet. The other sheet, the child has to see the reference sheet and copy it in the paper. This is not a simple step. The child has to see the reference paper, see that's a cat. The child has to remember cat and then write cat here. Then has to remember what the child wrote. I have completed writing cat. Then go back to the reference sheet and see what comes after cat. Oh, dog. And the child has to come back and write dog right under the dog, under the cat, sorry. The child has to understand that cat, dog and all the words are coming one below the other in a straight line. This is called spatial awareness. Do not expect your child to just copy well just because he has started writing well. Copying is a multi-level process that requires spatial awareness and visual perception. Once a child has completed words, go for simple sentence. Like cat is sleeping in one line and a dog sentence in one line. And now the child has to copy. Once again, the child has to understand that the cat is sleeping all comes in the same line and the dog sentence comes right below the cat. Now move the reference sheet a little far away but keep it on the same table. The child sees the sentence in the reference sheet like the cat is sleeping and then goes to his paper and then write it out. Usually the child would either repeat the same word multiple times or miss out any word. Let's say write cat, 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 or he will miss out is and write cat sleeping. We will point out each word when a child makes mistake and gradually they will be able to copy with ease. Once your child is copying well, go to Blackboard. Again the process continues. Write down a list of words. The child has to sit close to the board and copy it. If your child finds hard to copy it, you can point at the word with a chalk. Let's say like you have completed cat, go to bull and so on. Or just write 1, 2, 3. It will be easier for your child to track down. If your child is still having problem, the best way is using color codes. See, now your child has to write the green line and then the yellow line and then the green line. As a next step, you can use one single color. Same way you can go for sentences. Sentences, simple sentences, just like how you gave in the paper. The final step is paragraph. During the initial stage, give a small paragraph and write in big size words. And each word should be unique. I mean, like in this paragraph, the words like cat, market, watermelon comes only once. None of the word gets repeated. So that the child sees the board, writes cat went to the market, bends down and write in his note cat went to the market and looks up and searches for market. There shouldn't be 2 markets in the paragraph for the child to get confused. Once your child has done this legibly, go on to add more sentence to the word, reduce the space between the 2 sentences and also the size of the word. Now you can add words that repeat. Now look here, there are 2 cats. Once a child has written, let's say the child is on the last line. The child writes the cat and then looks up, there are 2 cats. The child would obviously go to the first cat and then start repeating from the first line, cat went to the market. To avoid this, the best way is to use the color code again. Whatever words repeat, use another color chalk piece to write it or just underline the word so that when the child sees it, he will understand that this is not the watermelon I stopped, that is where I stopped and then continue writing from there. Thank you and keep watching.